Hey, welcome back to the channel. We've got beam number 1 and beam number 2 in, as well as one rim joist that kind of fits down, flush inside the, overall footprint of the framing here, which is the way that I wanted it. These are proud, like I was talking about, seems like so long ago, seems like years. These are proud of the beam on this in the front here, because like I say, I want to see those, our deck surface will be here, and this will be the face of our first stair, our first step. It will have a beauty or appearance board on it. However, these will still stick out through the first step, which will be kind of a cool feature. And these fun through lock bolt, nut and bolt replacements. So these replace a 1/2 inch bolt and can be used as a trio like that. And anyway, they just run right in with a screw gun, and then you just catch the rear end of them with this cast or forged aluminum nipple thing, and then it starts to draw in like a nut and sucks everything really tight, and all of our liquid flashing came squeezing out. So we did our best to 1, 2, 3 side it, top sealed, and essentially we'll flashing tape over the top here as well and sealed down the edges. But on the bottom, some sealant squeezed out of there, but we didn't seal it over. So if it gets moisture in there, essentially we theoretically can weep that back out. And we filled some knots. These were knots that had some pretty significant texture, and I just wanted to do that today. And then tomorrow we'll use a butyl tape like zip or any of your window and door flashing. A lot of it is like a tin foil, and that catches your eye can catch your eye between the floorboards. I like something black, and zip system is the easiest thing to get my hands on. It could be thicker, I suppose, but it's still a nice butyl layer. It's going to work out great. We're going to catch the top of all of the framing here. Every one of the joists will get that butyl tape, and we got to be able to get there by the end of the week. I mean, it's going to be just filling in now. Lots of joist anchors up and down both sides, fill in the joists, and then our ends are a little long for right now. I wanted to get, once again, group all these posts together, check the spacing, check at the bottom, check that they're plumb when I button this all together, jump across at that end, and now down here everybody was a little bit too long, as well as kung fu fighting. But oh, and this hasn't been married together with screws the way the back one has. It's because we're gonna have to tweak the levels here. I also power planed the top. That's pretty good there. But if I was anywhere like here, where the far piece of timber here, a piece of lumber is a little high, so I take a 1/16 of an inch off or something like that. But over here, we're maybe at 5 feet off the ground, all the way to maybe at least 4 over there. So anyway, we're gonna have some fill to do on this side. But in the end, still really loving how this is coming together, and I knew it would happen. I'm starting to get more information about what would make the most sense for a contour here. And our entire plan has always called for the leading edge of this lower deck to be over, at the end of the whole deck here. But there's so much space there. I feel like there's a chance that we might want to back it up to here, and I might just come at 90 degrees, then swing a quarter of a circle, essentially on the center of the tree. So this is my thinking now, but and then head in that direction a little bit, and then die into what's on the same plane as the end of the deck at the back there, making the tree the center of the outside curve. And though there's a curve, not making it so organic. There's nothing wrong with something that organic, but something about an arc and more geometric curve rather than just a wandering Bezier or whatever seems more in keeping here, especially with given the piece of a circle that's over the door and stuff like that. So if it was more Art Deco, which is really would be wild and crazy out there, that had more of a 2 or 3 part arc that did a tight radius at the top and do a bigger radius here, then you can start doing a little bit more like jelly bean sort of shapes, in my opinion, and get away with them more easily. So anyway, just trying to dial that in. We know we want to use a circle, sort of the essence of it. We want to be related to the tree down there, so we're just thinking out loud now. And we got our hole drilled here for the radon pump to be put back together. It's actually quite on center. However, what was the problem? Oh, I left this hang by the power line, and it's just been hanging here running because it's not hurting anything, number one. But number two, there's not a label, there's not one single circuit labeled in the breaker box. So I have no idea what is running this, and I can't hear it from in there, and I don't have a helper to tell me, hey, it's off, and I don't want to just slap the main off. I don't know. It's a whole thing. So the problem is that while it was hanging here, I built the beam above, and now I can't get back up. You know, the wire should, the power line should have been up and over top of this beam as I constructed it. I needed somebody, even if I'd have thought of it, I would have had to have held it up while I put this beam together. So anyway, it's got to be turned off, powered down. I've got to get into the pecker head or whatever here, the junction box that's on it. That's what you call the junction box that's built onto a motor anyway. But, and unwire it, pick it up physically, install it, and then, you know, wire it back up again and power the circuit again. Which is just the sort of thing that you're cooking right along thinking, oh, I'll just drill a hole and slap that back together and boom, comes to a grinding halt. Till tomorrow. Rue, what do you think you're doing in there? What do you think you're doing? Making more holes on my job site. Anyway, again, by the end of this week we ought to have this area framed, and if we can't get ourselves some deck boards, we can start on the lower sort of area here. And of course the work truck is still broken, so just bear with us, trying to get something done. Starting to see it though, right? Can you see it? Starting to see it? I can see it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you.